Hello, this is Dr. Jim Swaffield. In this video, I'm going to discuss two related concepts. The first concept is the theory of product positioning, and the second concept, which I assume is new to you, is the theory of branding. I'm going to talk about both of these concepts because they are related. Let's begin by differentiating between a brand image and the concept of branding. We sometimes think of a product as being a brand. However, a brand is really more of an intangible concept like a personality, or an image that comes to mind when we think about a particular product or company. Here's Domino Pizza's brand image. In this image, there is a domino tile in red and the company's name in the blue box. For the most part, by itself, a brand image is not very useful. We also have what is known as a brand message. In this example, the brand message is the sentence that says, "Delivered in 30 minutes or it's free." The brand message is the most important part of the brand. Collectively, the brand image and the brand message create what is known as the brand logo. On this slide, I have separated the brand image from the brand message. I've done this because I want to demonstrate the difference between a brand image and the concept of branding. Branding is the process of attaching a meaningful message to the image and associating this combination, that is the logo, with a company or a product. Now, a few slides back, I mentioned that the most important part of a brand is the brand message. So what I want to do now is explain why the brand message is the most important part of a brand. The best way to understand this concept is for us to take a trip back in time and have a look at the origins of the branding concept. Let's go back about 150 years, back to the horse and buggy days. Back in the old days, ranchers didn't corral their cattle and bring them hay to eat. What they did instead was open the corral gate and let the cattle wander around all summer on the open range. So let's add some ranch houses to this picture. There we go, we have 3 ranches out in the hills. The cattle from these ranches would wander all over the open range looking for food. While they did this, the herds of cattle would mingle and intermix. The cattle would eat the free grasses and the shrubs all summer long. Then, at the end of the summer, the ranchers would put on their cowboy gear and work together to round up all the cattle. Once all the cattle had been rounded up, the cowboys had to sort the cows and decide which cows belonged to which ranch. But sorting out the cattle at the end of the summer was not an easy task. I imagine this was a common scenario. The cowboys would be saying, "These cows all look the same. How are we going to decide which ranch each cow belongs to?" So, somewhere along the way, it was decided that the best thing to do would be to mark the cattle with a branding iron before they were released out onto the open range. Then, at the end of the summer, they could differentiate one cow from another based on the cow's brand mark. So here's the main point. Branding provides a solution to a problem. The problem is not having the ability to differentiate one cow from another. Here are some other cattle brands. Can you tell me what you think these brands stand for? If you had a herd of cattle and each cow had one of these brands marked on it, could you tell me which ranch the cow belonged to? Clearly the answer is no. To know what these brands stand for, you need more information. What you need is an associated brand message. The first brand is from the Tri-Diamond Ranch. The second brand is from the Double Rivers Ranch. And the third brand is from the Straight Arrow Ranch. And the last brand, the fourth brand, is from the Half Bend Ranch. Here's a brand image. Do you have any idea what product or company this brand image is related to? This image by itself is like a cow wandering around lost on the open range. Here we have a herd of vodka products that also need to be differentiated. What do these brands stand for? It's pretty hard to tell. Absolute Vodka is telling us that it's from Sweden, and Finlandia is from Finland. Smirnoff is a Russian name, so it implies that Smirnoff is from Russia. For most of us, if we were asked what's the difference between Absolute, Finlandia, or Smirnoff, or what's the benefit of buying one brand over the other, we would be unable to differentiate one brand from another. So when a consumer goes to the store to buy vodka, if they cannot differentiate or describe why they should buy one brand over the others, then the company has a problem of differentiation. Similar to the cowboys who couldn't differentiate which cow belonged to which ranch. I think the only brand that is almost getting it right here is Square One Vodka. Square One's brand message is that it is made from organic ingredients. I say almost got it right because I'm not sure how many vodka drinkers care that their vodka is made from organic ingredients. All right, let's move on. Here we have two product brands, Tide laundry detergent and the old defunct Zellers department store stylized brand name. Even though Zellers has gone bankrupt, I'm still going to use it because it's good for reinforcing a point that I want to make. And that point is, when creating a meaningful differentiation between brands, we must attach a brand meaning or message to the brand image. This brand message should tell consumers the benefit of buying the product. For example, why buy Tide laundry detergent? The answer is because Tide gets the tough stains out. Why shop at Zellers? The answer is because at Zellers the lowest price is the law. In sum, to effectively brand, we must attach a meaning or a message to the image or symbol. And the message that we select should state something that is important to our target market. I also mentioned that I would talk about positioning theory and how it is related to branding. Positioning is the process that we use to figure out how a product or company should be differentiated from its competitors. Positioning is about finding that thought that we want to brand in the consumer's mind regarding how the product is different. Two rules of positioning are, first, we always position based on the needs of consumers. The second rule is we always position relative to our competitors. This means we do not want to copy our competitor's brand message. If we copy our competitor's brand message, we are not differentiating our brand. Positioning is the process that we use to figure out what the brand message should say. Since we've been using Tide laundry detergent in our example, let's develop a positioning map for Tide. We are going to create a two-continuum positioning map for Tide laundry detergent. There are many different continuums that we could use. Continuums could be based on whether the detergent has a fresh scent, or whether the detergent is environmentally friendly. We could also have a continuum based on price, or whether the detergent is a liquid or a powder. How we choose our continuum is based on the two factors that we already talked about. We should select a continuum based on the needs of the target market. The second consideration or factor to consider is we do not want to be on the same position as a competitor. For this example, our first continuum will be based on how well the detergent gets stains out. Our second continuum will be based on whether the detergent is a powdered detergent or a liquid detergent. Let's add some competitors. There we go. Now we find a spot for our brand, which is Tide. Tide is positioned as a liquid laundry detergent that is best for getting tough stains out. Now, technically, your detergent is either going to be a liquid or a powder, so all the products above the halfway mark are going to be liquid, and all the products on the bottom side are going to be all powder, so they should all be in the same line. And this is how we find our brand message that we want to brand in consumers' minds. This positioning map helps us differentiate ourselves from our competitors, and then we always show the brand message gets the tough stains out in association with the logo. And that's why I said earlier that your message is the most important part of your brand. What your message tells people what it is that you want them to think about that brand. And that is how positioning theory is related to branding.